Today we're reading Luke chapter 3, verses 31 to 44. Now, just a little bit of context here. Luke gives us that at the beginning of today's reading. Jesus had just moved from Nazareth to Capernaum. If you'll remember, in the previous chapter, Jesus was basically chased out of Nazareth because people were not liking what he was doing and they weren't believing who he said he was. Today, we're going to see the opposite of what happens there. Jesus casts out demons with authority, he heals people with authority, and he preaches the good news with authority. So starting in 33, we read about the demon that Jesus casts out of a man. Once when he was in the synagogue, a man possessed by a demon, an evil spirit, cried out shouting, "Go away! Why are you interfering with us, Jesus of Nazareth? Have you come to destroy us? I know who you are, the Holy One of God." But Jesus reprimanded him. "Be quiet, come out of the man," he ordered. At that, the demon threw the man to the floor as the crowd watched. Then it came out of him without hurting him further. Did you notice how even the demons recognized who Jesus was, recognized him as the Holy One of God? Jesus showed authority and power over the demons by casting it out of the man. And then we read about people's reactions to what they witnessed. Amazed, the people exclaimed, "What authority and power this man's words possess! Even evil spirits obey him, and they flee at his command." The news about Jesus spread through every village in the entire region. Jesus did this in front of a crowd, and the news of him spread. But Jesus didn't just do things in front of crowds. The next example will show that he healed in a smaller context as well. After leaving the synagogue that day, Jesus went to Simon's home, where he found Simon's mother-in-law very sick with a high fever. "Please heal her," everyone begged. Standing at her bedside, he rebuked the fever, and it left her. And she got up at once and prepared a meal for them. Jesus healed the mother-in-law of Simon, who would later be called Peter, the leader of Jesus' disciples. Not only was she healed from her fever, but Jesus gave her the strength that she needed, because immediately she got up and started to serve those in attendance there. Now, after this, many people were brought to Jesus who were in need of healing of disease, healing from demon possession, and Jesus healed them. What Jesus does next shows us where he drew his power and his strength. And starting in verse 42, we read this. Early the next morning, Jesus went out to an isolated place. Jesus' strength, his power came from God. He withdrew by himself to spend time with his Father. Let us not glance over this. Throughout his ministry, we will continue to see how Jesus does withdraw at numerous times from crowds and even his disciples to spend time with God, to spend time with his Father. This is a good reminder for us too, that power and strength comes from God, and we need to spend that time with God to draw on his strength. Now, crowds of people eventually found him as he withdrew, and they pleaded with him not to leave. But Jesus responds by saying this in verse 43. "I must preach the good news of the kingdom of God in other towns too, because that is why I was sent." People are starting to believe and come to know who he is. They're hearing his words spoken with authority and seeing his miracles done with authority, and they're coming to believe that he is who he says he is. But Jesus says that he must continue to preach this in other towns so that more people can come to know him. That's where we're going to stop today, but we're going to continue to see how Jesus shows his authority in the ways that he accomplishes what he was sent to do. I hope that you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next time.
If these devotional videos are helpful to you, subscribe to our channel and click the notification button so you know when we post a new video. And of course, please share them with others.